Forced into a blind date by my family. That night, I got drunk and slept with Ethan. The next morning, my mom called to ask how it went. A low chuckle sounded behind me as Ethan nibbled on my ear and whispered, "We're in my house. We slept together. Should I mention that?" "Ethan!" I cursed inwardly, rubbing my sore lower back. Tears of pain welled in my eyes as last night's embarrassing memories flooded my mind. Why was my online crush and blind date the same person? And why did it have to be Ethan? Top graduate from Southern University. My senior by 2 years. Rich. Handsome. CEO of Hawaii Tech. The industry's golden boy. And now I'd somehow ended up in his bed? Who's crying? Suddenly pulled into an embrace. Ethan's sleep-roughened voice murmured by my ear. "Wasn't it you begging me not to stop last night? Begging me to go faster?" My face burned as I clumsily covered his mouth. "That's bullshit. What I actually said was, no. Stop. Faster. Yet you kept." My voice trailed off as I remembered him accelerating relentlessly. A dark laugh rumbled through Ethan's chest as he dragged me closer. His stubble scratching my neck. If I'd stopped, how could I make you feel good, baby? Damn. My entire face flushed crimson as I scrambled away. "Why, you pervert? And who's your baby? Don't call me that." "Who indeed?" Ethan raised his wrist, the cold pallor of his skin accentuating the pastel Disney hair tie. "Need me to recreate last night's events, my dear girlfriend?" His warm breath fanned across my face as he leaned closer. Mischief dancing in his eyes. Danger. I clutched the sheets to my chest, retreating across the mattress. "Who's your girlfriend?" "We broke up." "Broke up?" Ethan's arms snaked around my waist, hauling me back against his bare chest. "You ghost me after catfishing me online? Most players at least wait until after leaving their lover's bed." "Julia." His fingers dug into my hip. "Planning to love me and leave me?" "I didn't." My protest came out embarrassingly breathless. "I just need space. To reconsider everything." "Space?" Ethan lit a cigarette, the glow illuminating his sharp features as he blew smoke sideways. "How much? A day? A month?" His unblinking stare pinned me to the spot. "You've got 30 seconds before I start convincing you my way." I was just thinking when the smell of smoke hit me. I coughed deliberately, pretending to be uncomfortable. "Why'd you have to smoke?" "It's suffocating." I need to freshen up in the bathroom first." "Let's discuss this later." I flipped the blanket off and tried to slip away the moment my feet touched the floor. His hand snapped around my wrist, yanking me back. The world spun as Ethan pinned me beneath him on the bed. My startled gaze met his desire-darkened eyes. The rims flushed red. My stomach dropped. What was he planning? Not again. "Ethan, get hold of yourself. Don't you dare." His descending face made me shriek. "Oh." He paused, lips quirking. "Thought you needed help freshening up to reach conclusions. Should I assist?" Holy shit! Since when did he talk like this? "No need. I've figured it out." This compromising position burned my cheeks. Before he could act, I blurted out, "We're friends with benefits." Wrong answer. Ethan's expression darkened instantly. His palm cradled my nape as he crushed his lips to mine. The punishing kiss stole my breath, growing fiercer until I weakly pounded his chest. MMPH. He released me only when I gasped for air. Voice gravelly. "Now, what are we?" "Something casual." I defied him tearfully. Ethan clicked his tongue, looming closer until his breath mingled with mine. "Try again, baby. What's our relationship?" Sniffles escaped me. Since when did he drop his gentle act? Shrinking into the pillows, I finally mumbled, "We're dating." "Good girl." He gathered me against his chest, fingers combing through my hair like petting a kitten. Little troublemaker. Really thought I couldn't handle you? Bully. Absolute villain. Hungry? His hand squeezed my waist. I'll fix you something. After that intimidation? No. I turned away stubbornly. Not hungry at all. Gurgle, the empty room suddenly echoed with a loud stomach rumble. I heard Ethan let out a short chuckle. Every part of her is soft except that stubborn mouth. My entire face burned with humiliation. The moment I closed my eyes in despair, Ethan already pulled on sweatpants and got out of bed. He handed me a glass of water before sitting on the edge scrolling through food delivery apps. I sipped water while secretly studying him. His bare torso revealed well-defined pectoral muscles and that unmistakable six-pack. Damn! Not only was this man ridiculously handsome, but he also had a god-tier physique. I swallowed hard, mentally kicking myself for being such a horn dog. Just as I tried to discreetly look away, Ethan suddenly lifted his gaze, locking eyes with me in an electric instant. Flushing like that. Want round two? He exhaled cigarette smoke through half-lidded eyes. Leaning closer. My heart stuttered as I panicked, shoving him away before scrambling off the bed. I grabbed my clothes and bolted, dressing frantically in the bathroom. I finally turned on my phone only to see Mom's 23 missed calls. Julia! Why was your phone off all night? Her voice could shatter glass. If you skipped yesterday's blind date, I'll break your legs myself. Mom. I glanced at the bathroom door, whispering urgently, what kind of psycho sets up dates because someone failed their PhD exams? She snorted. No excuses. We agreed pass your exams and keep studying. Fail and start dating properly. That young man's way out of your league. You should be grateful. Must you always compare? Mom continued, come home next Saturday. We need to talk. About what? I muttered suspiciously, certain this was a trap. Before I could invent an excuse, strong arms circled my waist. Ethan materialized behind me, nuzzling my neck as he nipped my earlobe. How about discussing that you're in my house? His heated breath ghosted over my skin. After spending the night in my bed, blood rushed to my face. My trembling hands almost dropped the phone. Julia! Who's there with you? Mom's voice sharpened. Heart pounding. I blurted, and no one. Just campus stray dogs barking. After frantic explanations, I hung up and whirled around to glare at the smirking troublemaker. Dogs? Ethan played with a strand of my hair, amusement dancing in his eyes. Scared your mom might find out we've consummated things? Obviously. If Mom discovered I'd slept with her perfect son-in-law candidate, she'd drag us to the courthouse before sunrise. Don't flatter yourself. I snapped. Then why were you trembling earlier? His lips curled with mischief. Guilty conscience? I shot him an exasperated look. As if. That wasn't guilt, more like my legs still feeling like jelly from being thoroughly ravaged by a certain bastard. He chuckled. All right. I'll stop teasing. Let's grab dinner. No objections there. Even emotional turmoil couldn't trump hunger. At the diner table, Ethan had ordered takeout, millet porridge and bauzi. Surprisingly humble choices. He waited until I'd finished eating before casually asking, when are you making this official? I nearly choked. You actually want to marry me? His eyebrow arched. Why else expand my matchmaking business nationwide? Screw grad school stress. My real mistake was sliding into Ethan's DMs for late-night emotional support during exam season. Had I known the anonymous big brother was New York's most eligible bachelor-turned-obsessive suitor. You do realize marriage without love is doomed, right? I recited my rehearsed speech. Let's just treat last night as. So you don't like me? His interruption sliced through my platitudes. The automatic MHM slipped out before I could stop it. His eyes darkened, midnight blue irises swallowing pupils whole. Smoke curled around his jawline as he leaned closer. That's fine. The whisper raised goosebumps. Forced affection isn't beneath me. My teacup clattered. This is 2023. We have restraining orders. 3 heartbeats passed before his smirk returned. Relax. Julia. Just testing your reflexes. He lifted me onto his lap effortlessly. We'll date properly. Build connection. His thumb brushed my lower lip. But make no mistake, you'll wear my ring. Hypothetically. I squeaked. If I ran. The arm around my waist tightened. Try. I shoved a bowsie in my mouth. His laughter vibrated against me. Choose slowly. Sweetheart. The endearment sounded like both promise and threat. We've got forever to discuss our wedding colors. When I got home on Saturday, my mom dragged me into her room for some gossip. So, how did it go? Did you hit a home run? Mom. What are you talking about? I coughed. My face burning. Since when did moms become so blunt? Your daughter is in the prime of her youth. How could I just dive into the grave of marriage? She scoffed. You're almost 30. What prime of youth? Here's your mission. Date for 1 month. Get engaged in 2. Married in 4. 2 kids within 3 years. Wow. Such a modest goal. I forced a laugh. Let's take it slow. Mom. What if we're not compatible? Truth was, Ethan Foster had everything: model looks, filthy rich, driven despite being born into wealth. Women lined up from Beijing to Paris for him. Yet he'd chosen me. And so Ethan and I officially started dating. Day 1 of our relationship, Ethan sent me a 5,200 yuan transfer. Should I accept it? Or accept it? Or accept it? I embraced my inner gold digger, sugar daddy. I love you. Cue innocent emoji. Ethan, prove it beyond words. I smirked. Ethan had this dangerous magnetism. After a month together. My biggest takeaway? Dumb rich guys rock. Kidding. A man who spends freely on love is irresistible. I secretly renamed him in my contacts, Human ATM. Human ATM, get ready. Evening banquet with me tonight. I pouted. My appearance fees steep. Alipay notification, 520,000 yuan transferred. Alipay notification, 131,400 yuan transferred. Message received. 5 minutes. I'll teleport to you. I rushed downstairs to find my personal peacock waiting. Ethan leaned against his black G-Class. Cigarette dangling from his lips. Tailored suit hugging his frame. His gaze turned molten when he saw my red velvet gown. By the time I registered the danger, he'd already pinned me in the back seat. What, the banquet? His gravelly voice vibrated against my neck. Dressed like this, fishing for trouble? It's just a normal dress. My protest died as he lifted my arms overhead. Wait. Too late. Kisses rained down in a flurry. His voice was hoarse as he nibbled my earlobe. If I don't mess with you a bit first, I won't be able to leave the house. 10 minutes later, Ethan carried me into the passenger seat with my face flushed crimson. The man in the driver's seat looked elegantly aloof yet utterly satisfied. My lipstick still smudged at the corner of his mouth, maddeningly tempting. Mortified, I punched his arm. You freak! You ruined all my lipstick. He chuckled lowly, kissing my knuckles. My bad. By 7 that evening, the banquet hall buzzed with clinking glasses. All eyes turned when Ethan and I entered. Rumors about Ethan had always been complicated. Some claimed he carried a torch for his college sweetheart. As the first woman he'd ever brought to such events, curiosity about me crackled through the room. Ethan guided me effortlessly through business associates until a portly real estate developer approached. Hoarding such beauty. Mr. Foster? The man's beer belly shook with laughter. Aren't you going to introduce this stunner? Ethan's palm warmed my waist as he stated simply. My fiancé. I nearly spat out my champagne. The The developer's eyes widened before he boomed. Future Mrs. Foster. Congratulations. Thank you, Mr. Lee. Ethan replied smoothly. Once alone. I pinched his side. Why'd you lie? We're not even engaged. Ethan arched a brow. Is a seed not a flower? Is dawn not daylight? You'll marry me eventually. Doesn't that make you my fiancé now? I gaped. Unbelievable. This man could twist logic like pretzel dough. Any more objections? Darling fiancé? His smirk deepened. Before I could retort, his lips brushed my cheek. Heat flooded my face. Public decorum. I stammered. He said nothing. Just watched me with molten intensity. When I moved to scold him, he captured my mouth once, twice, teasing intervals between kisses that left me dizzy. Strawberry, he murmured against my lips, licking them with a rogue's grin. Sweet. I kicked his shin, cheeks blazing. Go flirt with a wall. You menace. Hunger eventually drove me toward the buffet. But as I reached a quiet corner, Lily appeared, my college roommate, now clinging to a greasy sugar daddy twice her age. She shot me a venomous glare. I looked away. Some things never changed. Parasites remained parasites. Plastering on a smile, I grabbed a petit four and pretended not to see the human barnacle. While enjoying my meal, Lily Parker's voice rang out behind me. TSK. Look at this pitiful display of someone who's never seen the finer things in life. If I were you, I'd have crawled into a hole from shame long ago. How can you even eat right now? She swayed a wine glass, her blinding pink manicure glinting against the crystal as she stood there in her designer gown, radiating arrogance. I turned and eyed her garish outfit, massaging my temples. Lily, that bubblegum pink nail polish is a choice. Not only does it make your hands look like burnt toast, but the color itself is hideous. And those sausage arms stuffed into a strapless dress? Honey, you're giving bodybuilder Barbie vibes. You. Her perfectly contoured face twisted as she stomped her stiletto. Our mutual disdain was legendary. The origin story? She'd slept with my first love in college. I'd walked in on them at a motel wearing nothing but cheap body glitter. Think you're hot stuff now that you've latched onto Ethan? She sneered, switching tactics. I shrugged. Meh. If anything, he's the lucky one to have caught my attention. God, you're shameless. My lack of shame is old news. Sweetheart. Why the fresh outrage? Verbal sparring had always been my specialty. Her foundation cracked as she flushed mottled red, finally hissing. You can't possibly believe Ethan actually loves you. You idiot. Emily is coming back from Paris next week, the original first love. You're just a Walmart knockoff. The name clicked. Emily, Ethan's college sweetheart. The campus power couple that inspired yearbook quotes. Rumor had it he'd gotten ZN tattooed on his lower back years ago. The initials standing for her name. My expression must have shifted because Lily pounced. Venom dripping, poor Julia. First your prudishness drove your boyfriend into my bed. Now you're warming some rich guy's sheets as a placeholder? Even strays get more dignity. Crack! The slap reverberated through the banquet hall. She sprawled on the marble floor, cheek flaming, too stunned to scream. I flexed my stinging palm. Do you ever shut up? You're like a mosquito that won't stop buzzing. You hit me. She shrieked, just as her sugar daddy, Mr. Wu, waddled over. The balding man puffed out his chest. Who let this rabid bitch in? Security. Throw her. Lily seized a wine glass, hurling its contents at my face. A broad back materialized before me, intercepting the burgundy cascade. Ethan's cologne enveloped me as he pulled me against his tailored suit. Teach her manners? His glacial gaze froze Mr. Wu mid-bluster. The only person qualified to do that is me. The room held its breath. Mr. Wu's jowls quivered. Mr. Foster. I didn't realize this lady was my fiancé, Ethan corrected icily. Color drained from both their faces. With theatrical remorse. Mr. Wu backhanded Lily. Apologize. Now. Her tear-streaked mascara resembled oil spills as she choked out. Sorry. Mr. Foster, Ms. Carter. Before anyone could react, she fled through the gilded doors. Sobs echoing down the hallway. Wu Gue, seeing the situation, forced an awkward smile. Mr. Foster. Apologies for the trouble. I'll deal with that idiot when I get back. The commotion had drawn a crowd. I couldn't bear the humiliation any longer. Ethan. I tugged his sleeve, whispering, "Let's go home." I barely registered being carried to his car. The man with severe mysophobia now sat shirtless beside me, his wine-stained jacket discarded. My chest tightened with conflicting emotions about Lily and Ethan. I wanted to demand if I was truly just a replacement for Emily, but fear of the answer kept me silent. When the Mercedes G-Class stopped at a red light, Ethan gripped my chin. "Stop giving me the cold shoulder." I rolled my eyes. "Your face isn't that fascinating." He smirked, flexing his steering wheel hand. "They say men look hot driving luxury cars single-handed." Childish. Not impressed? His teasing gaze locked onto mine. "Barely passable." I lied, cheeks warming as he chuckled. His broad shoulders and sculpted features looked dangerously alluring in the streetlights. My pulse quickened when he suddenly pulled me against his scorching chest. "Don't push me away," he murmured, lips grazing my ear. His fingers traced my bruised knuckles. "Next time, use something less breakable." I swallowed hard. "Since when do you encourage violence?" "I only care about your safety." His thumb circled my palm. Was it worth confronting Lily? "What about your business with Mr. Wu?" Ethan's smile turned tender. "You matter more than any deal." His honeyed words and bedroom eyes could make grocery lists sound seductive. My heart raced as I blurted, "Am I really the one you see?" When he opened his mouth, I crushed my lips to his. The answer didn't matter anymore. His breathing turned ragged as my fingers tangled in his hair. The world shrinking to the heat between us. He grabbed my restless hands, his eyes dark with restrained intensity. "Jules, stop teasing me." I tightened my arms around his neck, refusing to let him pull away, and lightly nipped at his Adam's apple. "Ethan, I want you right now." Ethan froze for 2 heartbeats, growing impatient. I provoked him. "Are you even capable? If not, I'll find someone else." His hands clamped around my waist as his gaze turned dangerous. "Someone else? What's wrong?" "I'm desperate." I tried squirming free. "If you can't satisfy me, I'll just, ah." He flipped me beneath him in one swift motion, teeth grazing my earlobe as his breathing grew ragged. "Like playing with fire, don't you? Let's see if you can walk tomorrow." The night proved 2 things: male pride shouldn't be challenged, and Ethan possessed alarming stamina. My memories blurred after the 3rd round, though I vaguely recall being carried to the shower where he nearly drowned me in pleasure. As consciousness faded, I heard Ethan murmuring into his phone. A girl's soft voice drifted through the receiver. "Don't worry. I'll be there first thing tomorrow. Wait for me." His tone held unnatural gentleness, whether to avoid waking me or comforting her. I couldn't tell. I woke alone at 3 p.m. A black card, Porsche keys, and note waited on the nightstand. "Baby, swamped with work these days. Use this card freely. Be good and wait for me." Compensation for a one-night stand? Screw me, then run back to his precious Emily. "Let's break up. You cheating man whore." I texted before blocking him, tears splattering my screen. That night, I drowned my sorrows in my best friend's arms. Julia! She shook my shoulders. 2 timed twice. Do you have a sucker for players sign flashing over your head? Her words unleashed fresh sobs. I genuinely thought Ethan might be marriage material. Turns out I was just a placeholder, a pathetic imitation of his true love. Filthy player. I hiccuped. Remembering the last time I'd sworn off men after catching my ex in bed with our yoga instructor. My track record with resolutions remained flawless, every single one broken. I fell asleep crying. Morning brought a skull-cracking hangover in Ethan's 59th call. I answered hoarsely, "Stop pretending. I know everything. We're through." "No, what exactly?" His voice rasped with exhaustion. "Come downstairs. Say it to my face. Since when did cheaters demand confrontations?" "Fine. Bring it on." I found Ethan pacing the courtyard, looking like he'd driven through a hurricane. Bloodshot eyes locked onto me. His calm exterior barely containing something feral. The air crackled with unstable energy as he advanced. My heart pounded violently. My eyelashes were damp, I'd cried the entire way here. I'm not even the one who's upset. So why are you crying? Ethan reached to wipe my tears. But I slapped his hand away. How dare he pretend to care now? He paused, exhaling sharply. This is killing me. Suddenly, he grabbed my wrist and yanked me against his chest. Don't touch me. I struggled furiously. You player. He froze. Player? With another sigh. He pinned me tighter. Julia. Just tell me what I did wrong. Let me explain. Don't sentence me to death without a trial. You've got someone else in your heart. You used me as her replacement. Stringing me along, what else would you call that? My voice cracked as years of suppressed hurt erupted. I saw it, Emily's initials tattooed above your hip. Was I just her stand-in this whole time? Emily? Ethan's expression blanked momentarily before he barked out a laugh. So you ghosted me and ended things over an imaginary rival? You're still denying it? Snatching his phone. I redialed the number from that damning call log. Fine. Let's hear your little mistress confirm it herself. Hello. Mr. Foster. How may I assist you? A professional female voice answered. I froze. Phone clutched in trembling fingers. She sounded like an assistant? Ethan leaned closer to the speaker. Eyes locked on me. Are the agreements ready? Yes. Sir. Miss Carter's marital asset portfolio includes stock transfers for Hawaii Tech, real estate deeds, jewelry, and artwork. Awaiting her signature. Good. As the call disconnected, my knees nearly buckled. He'd been preparing marriage documents? Warm breath tickled my ear as Ethan chuckled. Satisfied now. Detective? But, the tattoo. I weakly protested. His chest vibrated with deep laughter. First. Emily's my cousin, you'll meet her at next week's family dinner. Second. His lips brushed my earlobe. My silly Julia forgot her own initials are also Z. N. My brain short-circuited. Oh. He cradled my face. Thumbs wiping fresh tears. There's no replacement. There's only you. Always you. Me? I squeaked. Since high school. But we never even talked back then. His smile turned bittersweet. You didn't notice me. I noticed you. Then why wait until college? Why not, because? He interrupted, capturing my lips in a searing kiss that tasted like stolen study hall glances and a decade of longing. Some treasures are worth stalking through 3 universities and 2 startups to claim. Ethan sighed. You already had a boyfriend back then. My heart skipped a beat. My first love, Emily, was in the same grade. He pursued me relentlessly during freshman year until I finally agreed to date him. 2 years later, he cheated on me with my roommate, complaining I was too emotionally distant and physically reserved. I was preparing for graduate school entrance exams at the time, already stressed beyond measure. The betrayal sent me spiraling into my darkest period. That's when I met an online stranger who became my emotional anchor. Patient and kind, he guided me through the darkness, tutored me academically, and helped me secure grad school admission. That person turned out to be Ethan. Now he'd reappeared as my arranged marriage partner. The coincidences stacked up impossibly. "You planned this all along?" I accused, voice trembling. "You cunning fox. You schemed your way into my life." His chest vibrated with quiet laughter as he pulled me closer, breath warm against my ear. "Guilty as charged. I've been obsessed with you since high school. Had to devise legal means to keep you mine forever, marriage being the most binding contract." Smooth talker, I muttered, cheeks burning even as my traitorous lips curved upward, making coercion sound romantic. The hypocritical businessman didn't deserve my blush. Yet I confessed anyway. I don't hate the idea anymore. In fact, I'm starting to look forward to marrying you. Because I think I'm falling for you too. His fingers stilled on my waist. Not just impulsive? Not at all. I rushed to clarify. Before I could process his satisfied hum, something cold slid onto my finger. Sunlight fractured through the massive diamond now adorning my left hand. My breath caught as Ethan dropped to one knee, gaze devastatingly earnest. "Marrying you was decided the moment I saw you scribbling calculus equations in 10th grade study hall. Let me be your protector, your safe harbor, your forever. Julia." His thumb brushed my knuckles. "Will you permit this unworthy man the honor of becoming your husband?" Time suspended. His nervous swallow echoed louder than the rustling leaves. I answered by crashing our lips together, pouring years of unsaid longing into the kiss. "The honor's mine." I breathed against his mouth. "My Ethan. Thank you all for the company. Your support fuels my passion for sharing these sweet romance stories. See you next time."